Welcome to Shadowed Myth. Today, we explore the chilling urban legend of the Smiling Man, a terrifying figure whose eerie presence has been reported in various locations across the United States. This unsettling legend is known for striking fear into anyone who encounters the Smiling Man, a figure that seems more sinister the longer you observe him. The story begins late one night when individuals walking alone have reported seeing a man on a deserted street or park. He is often described as tall, with a perfectly tailored suit, standing unnaturally still. But what's most disturbing is his face, a wide, unnerving smile that never wavers. His eyes, though seemingly normal, are filled with a strange intensity, as if they see right through you. Some witnesses have described his smile as far too wide for a human face, stretching unnaturally across his cheeks. The most famous encounter with the Smiling Man occurred in Seattle, Washington. One night, a man named Greg was walking home after a late shift when he noticed a strange figure in the distance. At first, the man appeared to be dancing, moving in a peculiar, jerky manner. As Greg continued walking, the figure began moving toward him, its dance becoming more erratic and unsettling. The man's wide smile never left his face as he approached Greg, who felt an overwhelming sense of fear. Realizing something was terribly wrong, Greg quickened his pace, only for the Smiling Man to follow, still grinning. As Greg hurried to get away, the Smiling Man's movements became even stranger, as though he was floating or gliding rather than walking. His eyes locked onto Greg, and despite the eerie smile, there was a palpable sense of danger. Eventually, Greg made it to safety, but the fear of that encounter stayed with him. He couldn't shake the memory of the man's unsettling smile, or the feeling that something unnatural had followed him that night. Since Greg's encounter, stories of the Smiling Man have surfaced in various cities across the country. The figure is always described in a similar manner: well-dressed, eerily still, with a smile that never fades. People who have seen him report the same strange sense of dread, as though something far more sinister lies beneath that grin. Some believe that the Smiling Man is a manifestation of fear itself, an entity that feeds on the terror of those who see him. While no one knows who or what the Smiling Man truly is, theories abound. Some think he could be a ghost, the spirit of a man who died under tragic circumstances, forever doomed to wander the streets with his eerie smile. Others suggest that the Smiling Man is a cryptid, an unknown creature that has existed in the shadows for centuries. There are even those who believe that he is a hallucination, brought on by the isolation and stress of city life. Whatever the truth may be, those who encounter him are left with a lasting fear that something far more terrifying is lurking behind that smile. There are also accounts where the Smiling Man doesn't just follow or watch, but actively tries to communicate. In these stories, he approaches his victims and begins to speak in a low, calm voice, though what he says is often unintelligible. Witnesses have described feeling as though they are being hypnotized or lulled into a false sense of security, only to snap back to reality when the fear overwhelms them. These interactions leave an even deeper mark, as the Smiling Man's voice haunts their memories, replaying over and over, long after the encounter has ended. The legend of the Smiling Man has only grown over time, with more people sharing their stories online. Some speculate that his appearances are becoming more frequent, as if he is drawn to places where fear is more palpable. Whether he is a figment of the imagination or a real supernatural entity, the Smiling Man has become one of the most terrifying urban legends of the modern era. His smile may seem friendly at first, but those who see it quickly learn that behind it lies something far more sinister. That concludes today's terrifying tale of the Smiling Man. Stay tuned for more eerie stories from Shadowed Myth, where we uncover the world's most unsettling legends and myths.